Well, let's kick it off here, friends. Let's go to the heading division of the Fall Classic Rope Horse Futurity here this afternoon. Let's go to draw 37. We're going to be looking at Dawson Graham. Dawson Graham is aboard Peps, a smart gunner. He calls him Shooter. Going to be a 5-year-old gelding. One on at rodeos in the breakaway and in the heading and the calf roping. Multi-event pony right here. 5-year-old. Again from Dawson Graham, Wayne, Wright, Alberta. Brother Dylan on the back end cleaning it up. It's going to be an 865. 865 in the field. Judge number 1 is giving us a 75. 75. Judge number 2. 72.5. Your timed score of 72 with a total of 219.5. 219.5 for Dylan Graham and Peps, a smart gunner. Let's go to hip number 38. Hip number 38, a horse owned by Doug Jones, being ridden today by Tal Fuelling. She's almost right. They call her Izzy. Here is a 5-year-old mare. Well, he found the post, and it's going to be 9 flat, 901, 901 in the field for the Fuellings. Plus 5, and a 74.5 from judge number 1. Judge number 2, 73.5, your timed score. 66 for a total of 214. 214. Hip number 39. Here is another good horse from Von Workin, Cornack, Saskatchewan, being ridden by Kyle Wilson. Sonitas Little Drifter. They call this gelding Oakie. Not Oakley, Oakie. 5-year-old quarter horse gelding. Casper Roy on the back end helping Kyle out. Here is a gelding on a Little Oakie Cat by Highbrow Cat. Going back to Sonitas Colonel Pep on the bottom side. And a plus 5 in the field. It's going to be a 929. 929, a plus 5. Judge number 1 is giving us a 74 and a 74 from judge number 2. Your time score is 66. Gives us 214. A 214 for Kyle Wilson and Sonitas Little Drifter. Let's go to hip number 40. Hip number 40. We're looking at Clay McNichol, Okotoks, Alberta, hanging it with a Cutie. Cutie is her barn name. We're looking at another mare here. We're looking at a 6-year-old mare. Here's another Shining Spark bred mare. Top sale Cody as well. 685 in the field with a barrier as well. That's a 75 from judge number 1. Judge number 2, 73.5. Your score time, 64 for a total of 212.5. 212.5 for Clay McNichol and Hangin with a Cutie. Here is hip number 41. Hip number 41, we're on to Lachlan Christensen. Nanton, Alberta. IMA Rebel Master. Calls him Coy. Here is a 6-year-old gelding. Another big gelding going back to Pepto Boons Mall. Can't say enough about these Pepto Boons Malls. Tristan cleaning it up. It's going to be a 727. 727 in the field with a 74 from judge number 1. Judge number 2, 73.5 and a 73 on your timed score with a 220.5. 220.5. We're looking at Timber I'd Slide. They call him Timber in the barn. Ryan McNaughton aboard. Owned by Glenn Brown, Quesnel, British Columbia. Another horse from Florence McKenzie. It started on the ranch. All right, it's going to be a 949. 949 in the field for Timber. Judge number 1 is giving us a 68.5. It's going to be a 70 from judge number 2 and a 71 on the timed. 209.5 for Timber I'd Slide. Hip number 43, another one from Hillbilly Hollows, Piers, Alberta. Mr. Cody Potts aboard Diamonds and Dinero. Little Joe, they call this little mare, 5-year-old mare. Purchased from Grant and Rael Little 2 years ago. Came to them ready to work, broken, ready to work. $7.94 in the field, $7.94 for Diamonds and Dinero. Judge number 1 is giving us a 73. Judge number 2, 71.5. Your time to score, 73 for a total of 217.5. 217.5 for Diamonds and Dinero in Hillbilly Hollows. Let's go to hip number 44. Hip number 44, we're looking at Kelly Armstrong's Reed's Charm. They call him Trigger. Brett Buss aboard. 6-year-old gelding. Reed Two-Eyed King by Super Bullseye Pine. Judge number 1 is giving us a 74. It was a 776 in the field. Judge number 2, giving us a 75 with a 73 on your time score for a total of 222. Good way to kick it off. All right, here be hip number 46. Here's Cash Bonnet. Boy Wrangler Lark calls him Joe, 6-year-old gelding. Placing very high in the Fall Classic 2019, as well as the Northland Futurities. Doing very well at them a few years back. Good stick, Logan. Going to be an 806 in the field. Judge number 1 is giving us a 71.5. Judge number 2, 71.5 as well. Your time score of 72 equals up to 215. 215 for Cash Bonnet and a Boy Wrangler Lark. Let's go to hip number 47. Hip number 47, Kyle Wilson aboard JT Risin Sensation. Owned by Von Worken, Cornack, Saskatchewan. Of course, Von Worken becoming no stranger to the futurities across North America. 4-year-old. Here is a 4-year-old, friends. Well, Casper Roy's doing the helping there by the heel, and going to be a 754. Judge number 1 is coming in with a 75.5. Judge number 2, 75 even with a 73 on your timed score for a total of 223.5. Well, here's our host of the Fall Classic Rope Horse Futurity right here. Lena Drift Bars. This horse come from the Meston family at Tees, Alberta. 6-year-old gelding, being a 947 in the field, 947. 72 from Judge number 1, a 72 from Judge 1, Judge 2. 72.5 and a 71 on your timed score for a total of 215.5. 215.5 for the Fawcett's. Let's go to hip number 49. Hip number 49, we're looking at Tell and Taylor Fuelling. Tell Fuelling doing the heading here on Gunner's Dunnit Fancy. This horse was purchased from Aaron Miller at Cremona, Alberta as a 4-year-old. It's an 839 in the field. Judge number 1 is coming in with a 74. Judge number 2, 74.5. And our timed score, 67 for a total of 215.5. 215.5 for Gunner's Dunnit Fancy. Hip number 51, we're looking at Levi Schmidt. He's the owner-operator at Tynes Manly Lucielle. Freebie calls it. Here's another mare, 4-year-old mare. Comes by her name honestly. She was a free horse, he says. That's how she earned her name. Top-notch head horse, stands flat, runs flat. Yes, sir. It's going to be a 785, 785 in the field. Judge number 1 is showing us a 75. Judge number 2, 74.5 with a 73 on your timed score for a total of 222.5. 222.5. All right, let's go to hip number 54. Hip number 54. Here's a horse owned by Dylan Graham, brother Dawson, showing them off for you here today, friends. I think you saw him earlier in the heel, and now he's on the head side. It's going to be a 663 with a 74 from Judge number 1, 74 from Judge number 2. Time score of 74s across the board for a running total of 222 for the Grahams. So this horse's name is Unleash the Bar. Call him Hennessy from Andrea Fox. Mr. Brett Buss doing the roping. Oh, we're going back, eh? There we go. $10.71, $10.71, and it's going to be a 70.5, 70.5. There is a +5 on that as well. Judge number 2, 71.5, and a 65 on your timed score for a running total of 207, 207 for Andrew Frox. Here is draw number 56, Mark and Margie Axton, Logan Bonner aboard Invited in Blue. Here's a 6-year-old gelding who's actually started as a Western pleasure horse, this roan horse. And gets him by the toes. Good job, Cash. Going to be a 722. 722 with a 72 from judge number 1. 70 from judge number 2 with a time score. 73 with a 215. Total of 215 for Logan Bonner. Draw number 57, Kylie Whiteside, being ridden here today by Lachlan Christensen. Dollys Big Boots, they call her Dolly. Here's a mare, a 4-year-old mare, coming to us from Longview, Alberta. Mr. Woolsey's going to stop the clock at 9:66, 9:66. Judge number 1 is going to be a 73, 73 for judge number 1. Judge number 2, going to be a 73 as well. Your timed score of 71 for a total of 217. 217. Let's go to hip number 59. Hip number 59. Here come the Whites. Lee and Kelsey White aboard Peppy Diamond Dancer. Calls him Tony. Of course, Lee White being no stranger to the Futurity end of things. I believe was our Fall Classic 2019 head horse champion. Well, they got past the tougher one there. A 13.46 plus 5, 13.46 plus 5. Judge number 1's coming in with a 71.5, 71.5 from judge number 1. 71.5 as well from judge number 2. Our timed score of 62 equals up to 205, a 205 for Peppy Diamond Dancer and Lee White. We're looking at Von Workin once again here. Kyle Wilson aboard Maple's Running Money. Maple Chocolate, they call her. This gelding, this 6-year-old gelding. Maple's Running Money by JB. Cable's Runaway by Sammy's Runaway by Runaway Winner. Mare on the bottom side of Especially Smart Peppy by Little Peppy Special. And it's going to be a 683, 683 in the field. Judge number 1 is giving us a 75, a 75 from judge number 1. 74.5 from judge number 2. A 64 in your timed score due to that barrier, and a running time of, or a running total of a 213.5, 213.5. Hillbilly Hollows, they're back with Vito Corleone. They call him Levi. Here's a 4-year-old. Purchased Levi this summer from Lisa Roth. He's a big solid gelding with lots of potential. Well, Dylan comes in there and cleans it up at an 8 flat, 801, 801 in the field with a 74 from judge number 1. Judge number 2 is going to be a 74 as well. Your timed score of 72 equals up to 220. 220 for Hillbilly Hollows and Levi. Yeah. Here's TJ Mill, Grimshaw, Alberta, owner-operator of Honeybee Smokin. Here's a 5-year-old mare. TJ Milne always bringing us one to the Fall Classic Rope Horse Futurity. And it is a 940, 940 in the field. Judge number 1 is going to be a 73, 73. Judge number 2, 72.5, 72.5 with a 71 on your time score for a total of 216.5, 216.5. Here comes Santana Lee Grant from Cornell, British Columbia. Ryan McNaughton aboard. Wrangler Steppin Out. Call him Newt. Here's a 6-year-old gelding. Skyview Ranch in Vanderhoof, British Columbia, where the breeders of this horse right here. That's Maureen Arnold. Ryan McNaughton doing the training at McNaughton Performance Horses in Quesnel, British Columbia. All right, well, it's going to be a 798 in the field. Judge number 1 is giving us a 69.5, 69.5. Judge number 2, 70 even with a 73 on your time score, being a total of 212.5. 212.5 for Ryan McNaughton and Wrangler Steppin Out. Here's Clay McNichol. He's back on Cardi B. Four-year-old mare. You bet. Going to be a 725, 725 for Clay McNichol and Cardi B. 73 from judge number 1, a 73. Judge number 2 is going to be a 72 even with a time score of a 73 for a running total of 218. 218 for Clay McNichol, Okotoks, Alberta, and Cardi B. 66, we're looking at Brett Buss aboard Oh Yeah, She's Hired. Dinosaurs, her barn name. Owned by Braden Duckett of Lacombe, Alberta. 5-year-old mare. It's a former cutting horse. Well, it's going to be a 908, 908 in the field. Judge number 1 is showing us a 73.5, 73.5, a 73 even from judge number 2, and a 71 on your timed score. Going to be a running total of 217.5, 217.5 for Oh Yeah, She's Hired, and Brett Buss. Let's go to hip number 67. Hip number 67, Connie Cassidy is bringing another one to us. You saw this one in the heeling a while ago. Sultan Valentino. Valley Robles doing the heading. $10.58 in the field. Judge number 1 is going to be a 71.5, a 71.5. Judge number 2 is going to be a 70 even, and a 70 on the timed score as well for running 211.5 on your score. Running score of 211.5 for Connie Cassidy, Valley Robles. Hip number 68, no stranger to the rope and pin here. Here comes Clint Bueller, Nanton, Alberta. Shining Boons, call him Walter. Gonna be a 5-year-old gelding. This horse was purchased from Corey Jacobson. Boonlight Shining by Boonlight Dancer by Pepto Boonsmall. Love the color. It's going to be a 949, a 949 in the field with a 73.5, 73.5. Judge number 2, 74.5, 74.5 with a 71 on your time score, being a total of 219, 219 for Clint Bueller and Shining Boons. Let's go to hip number 69. 69, here comes your Manitoba Futurity horse here from Chelsea Dreger and Greg Crothers. Dawson Graham doing the riding on Buck Nickid. Buck Nickid here, going to be a 5-year-old gelding. Throwing some color like his dad. And it's going to be an 845, 845 in the field. Judge number 1 is coming to us with a 72.5, 72.5. Judge number 2 is going to be a 73 even. And on your timed score, going to be a 72 for a total of 217.5, 217.5 for Dawson Graham and Buck Nickid. Here's hip number 70. Hip number 70, Vaughn Workin's back with another good one here. It's going to be Steppin' in Small Town, Kyle Wilson aboard. Here's a 4-year-old going back to Wimpy's Royal King by Wimpy's Little Step by New Checks to Cash. Another horse bred in the Vanderhoof, British Columbia area by the Arnolds. Of course, Casper Roy doing the helping on the back end. 917, 917. It's going to be a 74.5, 74.5 from judge number 1. Judge number 2 is going to be a 75 and a 71 on your timed score for a total of 220.5, 220.5 for Kyle Wilson and Steppin' in Small Town. All right, we're looking at hip number 71, hip number 71. Here comes Blazing Sunfrost. Einstein, owned by Gina Fuellen. Being showcased here by Brother Tell. Owned this horse since a yearling. Nice recovery, bud. Going to be a 10.06, 10.06. Judge number 1 is going to be a 73.5. Judge number 2 is going to be the same, a 73.5, and a 70 even on your time score for a running total of 217. 217 for Blazin' Sunfrost and the Fuellings. Let's go to hip number 72. Hip number 72, we're looking at a Grady Brandon. Masterstwistedremedy, calls him Junior. Here's a 6-year-old gelding. This horse originated from Josh and Jamie Harden out at Big Valley as a 5-year-old, and they continued to finish him as a head horse. Of course, the Hardens supplying some good horses throughout some of the great sales we have throughout Western Canada. All right, it's going to be 894 in the field. We're looking at a 73 even from judge number 1, a 73 judge number 2. We're looking at a 74. There was a +5 there. And a 67 for your timed score for a 214. A 214 for Grady Brandon and Junior. We're watching Clint Maddox aboard Bald Badger Ed. We call him Rooster. I look across the barbed wire fence every day at this guy. 4-year-old from Steve and Tammy Maddox, Eckville, Alberta. This horse was purchased as a weanling from the Meston family. Was started by Jim Roxborough in Buck Lake, Alberta as a 2-year-old. We got a leg on the back end, 789 +5. And we're looking at a 73.5, 73.5 from judge number 1, 73 from judge number 2, 68 on your timed score for a total of 214.5, 214.5 for Bald Badger Ed and the Maddox Ranch.